going ahead to talk about something else in the world of entertainment, and of course how theater has been in Nigeria. What's theater like now in Nigeria? What's it across the world? Because of course the World Theater Day, it's not just the day, I think it's starting from Thursday through Saturday, celebrated all across the world, and we will be talking about it in the next couple of seconds. Theater is big, and I remember that growing up, theater was my very first contact with entertainment, having the traveling theater all across town, different theater groups coming into town to present their plays, dance sequences, so much going on then. And of course, it was not a time when there was a lot of technology in play. But let's take a look at what is going on in the world of theater today. My guest for that will be Oluwadamilola Abdullahi Apoteri, who is joining me now. Good morning, Damilola.
Morning, Uncle Kule.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, excited to be here. I remember some 15, 20 years ago, I used to sit by your side, and now I'm sitting across you as the guest.
ICDB.
Yes.
Okay, it's good to have you.
Good to be here too.
You look good.
Thank you. You look well as well.
All right. It's World Theater Day.
Yes.
You are a theater person. Playback Nigeria is about theater, right?
Yes.
So
Perfectly.
let's talk about World Theater Day first. What's it about?
I think it's a day, it's a day set aside to actually celebrate the power of theater around the world, to honor these voices and the stories being told through theater performances. So all across the world, theater practitioners, educational institutions, and organizations set aside this day to honor the world theater, and then to use that as a platform to raise awareness about what theater can achieve. And as you said, theater has evolved over the years, from performance now to process work, not just for entertainment any longer now, but for raising awareness around social issues. Now we have community theater, we have applied drama and theater, we have different forms of theater that is being used for several issues. For example, we now have, of course, it's been for ages since Augusto Boal introduced what we call the Theater of the Oppressed, that is being used. Part of the umbrella body of the Theater of the Oppressed was the legislative theater, that was introduced to help to introduce new policies and new laws in government. And so we have different forms of theaters that has been explored at the moment, and it's evolving by the day.
Now, since 1962, the World Theater Day has been observed, and I understand that it's going on online this year as well. It's not just a physical celebration, but there's also a virtual celebration across the world. So, how has it been being in the theater space for you?
It's good that you mentioned that it's also virtual. I think one of the benefits of COVID-19 is the fact that theater moved from stage to online, or what we say from stage to space. The celebration for us is both virtually, both physically. People can then do performances. When COVID-19, during the COVID-19, we had to introduce virtual performances. In fact, we had a theater festival that we did online for Playback Nigeria. And over the years, there has been theater conferences, theater festival. In fact, a lot of companies moved their physical theater, which was being constrained by visas and a lot of traveling costs and economic challenges, to online, where people can join all over the world. Now, for us also, we've adapted this as an organization. Like I mentioned, doing theater online, doing theater in different spaces, not just on stage. We do process work. We've worked over the years with internally displaced persons, using theater for mental health and psychosocial support. We've also used theater in terms of raising awareness around issues such as water sanitation and hygiene, HIV/AIDS, climate change, and different other social issues. One of the key areas of focus for us as an organization is actually using what we call the forum theater to raise awareness around social issues such as gender-based violence and violence against women, violence against children. In 2015, we championed the advocacy work around when Nigeria was launching the Year of Action to End Violence Against Children. We partnered with UNICEF to raise awareness using what we call the Embodied Act. In 10 states, we had children, celebrities, do process work, not stage performance this time around. So imagine people doing a work and then they're all embodied with signs or symbols that depict the issues we're raising awareness about. That year was about violence against children. So we have people with bandages on their head, blood stains to just depict some of the effects of gender-based violence. So for us, theater has evolved from just doing on stage, but doing also in the space. So we, as an organization, adapted different tools of theater. We work with people in the healthcare, for example, to train them using the tools of an actor or theater tools to help build bedside manners for medical practitioners, patient safety, listening, collaboration, communication. And we also use that also in form of building social skills or soft skills such as communications, like I said, listening, empathy. Those are some of the skills that an actor will use. We, for example, practice what we call applied drama and theater and playback theater and improvisational theater, and of course, medical improv. Medical improv is what I described about using tools of the theater tools in the field of medicine.
I understand. No, that's quite a lot of value. Tells me that over time it's no longer about the Formula Oranco theater troupe driving into town and blaring on their loudspeakers.
We respect them. They laid the foundation.
They laid the foundation, but you've built, the theater world has built on the foundation of the Ojoladipos and the Samanjas and all of those theater groups now. And you've talked about quite a lot of value, but I want us to pick up something, especially looking at the kind of situation that Nigeria finds herself today, a lot of insecurity going on. People, for quite a long time, a lot of people were stuck in internally displaced persons camps and all of that. And of course, only yesterday, Nigeria buried 17 soldiers who were killed in Delta State with full military honors. How does, I want to pick on improv now. How does theater, maybe particularly improv, help to change things and treat the trauma in such situations?
Thank you so much for that question. So most of the time when people experience emergency situations or conflicts, such as the survivors of the insurgency in the Northeast, or survivors of any form of emergency,
kidnappings in Abuja, or wherever.
And that's one of the reasons why we actually founded Playback Nigeria. Most of the time, people just look away. If there's a flood anywhere, people donate resources, materials,
Relief
food, give them tents. And a lot of times people don't talk about the mental health effects of those emergency situation. And then people just move around and they're like, oh, no, they just give them food, just give them a new camp to live in. One of the things theater do is that it helps people to live a normal life. When people experience theater, not just performance theater, but process theater, it helps them to recover and discover themselves. So we use theater for psychosocial support, to introduce play to people, especially children. When children are distressed, it can lead to depression, both for children and for adults. At this point, the theater comes in to help provide that safe space for people to actually play. It also provides space for people to tell their stories. So we practice improvisational theater, which introduces games and plays for not just children, for adults. We've worked with over 10,000 children in the northeastern state of Borno, Adamawa, and Yola, providing art-based psychosocial support for them using theater, improv theater tools. We also have what we call playback theater, which is an original form of improvisational theater where people tell stories from their lives and watch it being enacted on the spot. That's where our name came from, Playback Nigeria. Playback theater is being practiced in over 70 nations of the world. Fortunately, we are the only one practicing playback in the whole of West Africa. Other African countries include South Africa and Zimbabwe. So what playback theater does is provides a safe space for people to use what we call narrative therapy, where they get to tell personal stories about their experience, and we have trained practitioners, trained actors who reenact these stories back to them. In doing this, we're able to build communities, we're able to build safety, we're able to build a form of community support for people who experience this form of emergency situation.
That's quite comprehensive, really. Now, I do also know that theater is something that a lot of people don't have much time for in Nigeria now because of the economic realities. So, how do you think theater can come closer to the people?
I think we all perform. We're all performers. We all have a stage called the world. And as a matter of fact, we are all improvisers. When you get to the road and you don't plan what happens, maybe a car is coming, you react somehow. So people just need to be conscious of their performance. They need to be conscious of performing real life. Nigeria as a country do not support theater in terms of funding theater. In other countries, we have what we call the National Art Fund that would sponsor artwork, because as theater practitioners,
Are you very sure of that?
Nigeria do not support theater.
There's a national theater complex in Lagos.
National theater. Do Nigeria as a nation fund the national theater? When was the last time the national troupe actually produced?
It's been renovated. It's been put back in.
It's not just about putting it back into it. The function is performance theater. Not just the building of a theater. Performance, because theater can take place anywhere. We can perform here in the studio. We can perform in the office. We do a lot of work in offices, in hospitals, doing theater performances in hospitals, even in prisons. We've worked in the prison before, doing theater with prisoners, they're not prisoners. Inmates. So what I'm trying to say is this: as a nation, we need to be conscious of the power, the transformative power of theater, not just as performance theater, but as process theater. Theater helps you to listen. Theater helps you to reflect. Theater helps you to see the mirror, see yourself in the mirror. People are dealing with a lot. The only place that, apart from churches, the only place that people can actually feel relaxed is actually theater. A theater such as playback theater performance would even provide a safe space for people to actually share the challenges and onboarding themselves. People are dealing with a lot. We have the suicide rates in Nigeria is going on the extreme. We have young people who have nothing to do with depression, who are getting depressed by the day. When you provide a space such as the playback theater space, or even a performance theater space, or even the process theater space, people get the opportunity to onboarding, they get the opportunity to share. Healing comes through telling. Healing comes through storytelling. People get the opportunity to actually, if not find a solution. Some people don't even want a solution. They just want to be listened to.
Want to be heard.
They want to be heard. So theater provides that space for people. So when we, and that's one of the reasons why government need to actually fund theater. That's one of the reasons why international organizations, and a lot of international, mind you, a lot of international organizations are actually seeing the benefit of theater more than Nigerians. I have the experience. I just received an email a couple of weeks ago from someone from, I think they're from Germany. They're coming to do a performance work with an international organization in Nigeria. And they reached out to us to see how we can help them as one of the only applied drama-based organizations in Nigeria. And so a lot of organizations are doing that, are now seeing the benefit of theater in healthcare, benefit of theater in business, benefit of theater in emergency situation. But we need to do more. The government needs to do more. We as individuals also need to do more.
How can government do more?
Fund theater. People, we have a lot of practitioners who cannot afford to produce a play.
When you say fund theater, Damilola,
yes.
In what way?
There should be grants for production of performances. Actors cannot fund it. We have producers who go, because a lot of people don't even pay for theater. We used to run a theater class in Playback Nigeria with schools. And you'd see schools who no benefit of theater want to pay chicken change for production houses and training institutions for theater. People cannot also because of the economic situation, people might not be able to afford paying for theater. So government needs to subsidize that. Yes, we're saying, oh, there are a lot of things that government needs to fund that would help. A lot of things that lead to insecurity can be avoided if people have a safe space to actually express their displeasure. A lot of things that lead to mental health issues can be avoided. And theater creates that safe space for people. Our work in Playback Nigeria, for example, we're addressing gender-based violence this year. We're introducing a project called Marapula. And we're going to schools in each state. We're targeting 10 states. FCT is the pilot state from April. And in each of the schools, we're targeting about 200 students. So per state have about 2,000 students. To introduce them in how to use theater as a tool for developing community-based solution to ending gender-based violence. That's one of the benefits of theater. We've done this in about 15 IDP camps in Borno State, where we actually used film theater to raise awareness about and to engage the community about hygiene promotion in the IDP camp.
Okay.
Those are things that conferences will not achieve, but theater can achieve. Film theater actually transforms audience members from being spectators to spectators. So people have the opportunity to come on stage and perform the change they want to see in their community. There is no amount of conferences you organize that can solve that. But that's one of the benefits of theater. That's one of the things theater can actually do. So think about politics, think about leadership, think about HIV/AIDS, think about awareness about citizenship. Theater can help the government, international organizations, local organizations, the church, the community to achieve this.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now, you've talked about something that I find very intriguing, that we are all actors. So suppose I want to become an actor and I want to collaborate, or I want to do something with you, or somebody who is watching now is interested in that. How does that happen?
Well, Playback Nigeria is opening up an audition for working class people who might just want to find a space to build or develop their skills in acting, or those who have interest in volunteering within an NGO. We have an open audition in our rehearsal space in Maitama, Abuja, every Saturday. We meet between 9 a.m. and 11 o'clock in Abuja on Saturdays. And people can also email us at office@playbacknigeria.com. office@playbacknigeria.com. They can also check our website to
It's
see
on
the
the
wonderful
screen right
work we're
now.
doing. Yes, at www.playbacknigeria.com. They could also reach out to us via Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook at Playback Nigeria, or call 09072808091. So people have the opportunity, whether they are working class adults or they want to volunteer. And when I say working class adult, means you can be a banker, or a medical doctor, or a TV presenter like Mr. Kunle, and then you have a passion for media, for theater. You want to just come in as I know you go to play volleyball. Some people might be interested in just going to theater to relax. And we said this, improv is a gym. It's something that you need to do to be able to build the mental muscle. And that's what we offer. We create that opportunity for people to volunteer.
All right, Damilola, thank you so much for coming to talk to us this morning. And intriguing how theater mirrors our lives. Theater helps us to understand who we are, our humanity, our common humanity too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us, and thank you to the production team.
I wish you the very best. All right, I've been talking to Oluwadamilola Abdullahi Akuteri, who is the CEO of Playback Nigeria. He's joined me to talk about the World Theatre Day. But before I let you go, what are you doing about the World Theatre Day? What are the activities?
So we're doing the audition. So what we're doing is we're just creating platform for people to actually join theater, to do theater.
Okay.
So that's the major activity we are doing, providing that platform. A lot of people are in Abuja who are looking for theater companies to join. Playback Nigeria is opening that door for them.
All right, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Oluwadamilola Akuteri, excuse me. Oluwadamilola Abdullahi Akuteri is the Chief Executive Officer of Playback Theatre and Drama Nigeria Foundation, otherwise known as Playback Nigeria. He's joined me to talk about theatre, of course, in commemoration of the World Theatre Day, which is being celebrated as we speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
And of course, that's where